hey, good morning and welcome. Happy Hump Day. Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. Listen, you know the number. And you're going to call it sooner or later. I hope it's sooner. Because later just means you're going to pay a whole hell of a lot more for it. 800-951-0592. Gold's flying today. Silver's flying today. Gold, what, $14.25, $14.26, $14.27. Silver, staring $16 an ounce in the face. Silver, you know what? On Monday, it wasn't even 15 and a quarter. By Wednesday, little brother starting to catch up. We're down to 89 ounces of silver for an ounce of gold. And you know, we still got away. Silver's got $4 or $5 more just to catch up to gold, assuming gold doesn't keep going higher, which it's going to. But nonetheless, silver, though, on the move along with gold. Buckle up. That's all I'm going to tell you. You know it. Listen, I'm tired. I'm not going to sugarcoat for you. You need to pay attention. And I know, right? Well, it's not that bad here yet. It's not that bad here yet. It's not that bad here yet. It's not what a lot of the people are saying, the CEOs are saying. It's not what they're doing. It's not what other countries are doing, and you need to get ready. 1,500 before the end of the month, very possible. We'll have to see how the data comes out. The data we got today, not very encouraging. We heard from CSX. If you don't know who they are, a major freight transportation. They pretty much ship everything on the East Coast. All rail car shipments on the East Coast run through them. I'm going to tell you about what they had to say. I'm going to tell you about what the home builders had to say, about what building permits had to say, all of those things and so much more. I'm also going to tell you about the latest grab from Congress on your wealth. The last thing that I can think of, they've already got the 401ks, the IRAs, the annuities, and all that stuff, your bank accounts. They already got that encircled. Now they're going after, next is the inheritance. Right? And you think about it. Why? Because, hey, that's it. That's a lot of the wealth left. A lot of these kids out there are banking on mom and dad handing down the money, and I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to punish you for it. You want to hand down wealth? A great way to do it is put that wealth into gold and silver and then hand that down to them later on. Trust me, it works a whole lot better. 800-951-0592. I got $20 gold pieces today, and you better hurry because they're not going to last. $1,500. That's $75, actually a little less than $75 over spot. You don't get to decide because I don't know what they're going to be. 800-951-0592. That is the toll-free number, $20 Liberties, $20 Saints. At $1,500 today. And this was kind of very, gold, was consolidating here the last few days. We're waiting for the big move to the upside. It starts today. It doesn't end today. We got Jay Powell the next 2 weeks. And I think what we're going to see, and I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball, but I think we're going to see more weakness coming out of the economic data. But more importantly, it's going to be the guidance given by the CEOs out of earnings season. Today, it was Bank of America's turn for earnings. not good. Yes, they beat these numbers, and remember, beating these numbers, these companies set the number. You do know that, right? It's designed for them to beat them, right? And if they're not going to beat them, they give a warning and all that stuff. Profits at these banks are being squeezed, and these rate cuts aren't going to help. That's why you see the Dow is down today. Gold is running, and we'll watch all of this play out, and then we're going to talk about the Secure Act. The act that is being worked on in front of Congress right now, setting every community up for retirement enhancement, a.k.a. secure, right? And this is what they do, right? They give it a name that makes you think, oh, yeah, well, I want to have who doesn't want to have a secure retirement, right? And then I'm going to tell you about that, and then I'm going to update you about the 401ks. I got new information on 401ks. I got the actual median balances of 401ks. I knew this was a bad deal for us. I didn't know how bad. I'm going to share it with you. And I said in the first hour, these 401ks are horrible. And really what I meant by that is what they told us we were going to get for them is what makes it horrible. 401k in itself is fine, but what you are actually going to get from it, versus what they promised, that's what's horrible. We'll talk all about it. 800-951-0592. $20 libs, $20 saints. What regular price would be, $15.40, $15.45, $15.50. I'm going to put them on, and the website was, our website's not on, All-American Gold's not down, but the service provider that runs our shopping cart, their server went down. It'll be back up. It may already be back up. I'll get prices updated. I'll have them on sale today at $1,500. $20 Liberties, $20 Saints, but we're going to pick it because I'm not sure exactly what is going to be out there. I think about yesterday. Yesterday you could have bought them $14.75. Not today. How about those 10th ounce I ran the other? What was that? I don't know. Last week, right? And we didn't sell out yesterday. We didn't sell out. Didn't sell out the 10th ounce. We didn't. What are you doing out there? You better get serious. Right? We're living on borrowed credit. You know that. And all these ridiculous PE ratios are way too high. It's a dangerous time out there. So I'll do this. We've got 50 more 20s, and when I sell out, then I'll be back. Right, so if we sell out today, I'll be back tomorrow. If not, maybe I'll be back Monday. But when you're ready, I'm ready. When you're ready, I'm ready. But I'm going to tell you right now, you better get ready. Because you really have no idea, right? It's just like the crisis that occurred after the housing crash, right? They were sitting there, and I still remember Ben Bernanke talking about raising rates. Right? And then, the whole thing was falling apart. The same things are happening here. But I'm going to talk about this new act. This isn't law yet, but they're working on it. And I'm going to tell you about the 401k because I've got more intel, got better information. This is fresh information on 401ks coming next. So people, they want to associate their retirement with the word secure, right? That makes sense, right? We want to feel secure about it. I'm going to tell you right now, none of you should feel this way. Social Security is the trust fund, right? We're starting to take away now. Part of the reason why the deficit is going to skyrocket is there's there's no more additions to the fake trust funds, right? So Social Security, something's going to give there, right? They've killed you on the inflation. Your cost of living adjustments are non-existent. But even giving you a 1%, 1.5%, 2%, it's too much, right? More money's going to have to go into it. Payroll taxes are going to have to. But for starters, the new secure legislation, under the current law, okay, before the legislation, under current law, you could leave your IRA to your children in a fairly tax-efficient way. One of the nice things about an IRA, and I know a lot of you people that have done well do this. It's your kids. If your kids inherit your IRA, they are required to pay out a small portion of the funds each year, and those distributions would be taxable income. But the current rules only require tiny distributions. In other words, kind of like now, you think about your current IRA. When you're 70 and a half, the government wants its money. So what is, an IRA? You had your 401k, you retired from your job, or whatever it may be, you roll it into an IRA. When you hit 70 and a half, see, the government, they get tired. Because, they were so kind to give it to you tax deferred, right? Hey, we want to be nice to you. That way, you'll pay it later. Well, at 70 and a half, the government's like, okay, it's time for you to start paying some tax on that. And you have to take distribution. Now, if they had done it the way they show it to you on TV, right? And you're an absolute idiot if you aren't fully invested in your 401k, right? You hear it every single day. You're a moron. You're fiscally irresponsible. And you know what? I see these people day in and day out. They have no idea. You're sheeple. It's a trick. And they say this to you. And you know what is supposed to happen is you're supposed to have 500,000, $1 million, 2 million, 3 million. You've seen the commercials. I know you've seen them. Right? And then, hey, at 10%, right? Let's be kind. I don't want to get too excited. You had $500,000 in this IRA, right? It was in your 401k. You're retired. You switch it from a 401k to an IRA. That's how it works. You got $500,000. Well, 70 and a half rolls around, and they tell you, hey, you got to sell 10% of it. So now you got $50,000 of income on top of your Social Security check. And essentially, hey, you're going to pay, about 30% in taxes. Right? That's how it works. See? But the 401k is so crappy that most people don't have $500,000, right? The way they try to sell it to you, well, if you set yourself up to be super poor, right? If you only have $20,000 in it, the 10%'s only $2,000. So $2,000 added to your Social Security income, hey, you only got to pay 15% or 12%, right? Right. So essentially, what do you want me to be poor? If you actually have enough money to live on. I mean, for real. In your IRA, your 401k, you're going to lose 30% of that money, period. But now it's going to get worse. So current level, so let's just say you pass. Okay? You pass away and you left it to your kids. Under the current law, right, the kids would have to take yearly distributions, but they lower it. Right, so they don't get, they try to keep the tax hit reasonable. It's still going to be a big hit, especially if your kids have income. But under this new act, your kids would have 10 years to pay out the entire balance of your retirement account. And you know what? This is going to make the whole Wall Street. I keep going back to Wall Street. Who's going to buy all this stuff? I think like 80 million people are getting ready to retire in the next, I don't even know, 5 years? And now it used to be you could draw this out, right? Because why would your kids, especially let's just say your kids, your son, your daughter, they make $100,000 a year. And now all of a sudden, hey, you got 10 years. You got to add 50 income every year to your tax, right? Boom, boom, right? They start getting slaughtered, especially if the taxes start to what? Listen, Donald Trump's not going to be president forever, right? Taxes are going to go up. And when they do, it's going to be even worse. So now they're looking at bumping up these payouts on these IRAs that you leave to your kids. And I'm just saying, this is another disaster because, listen, there's not that much money left out there, right? Money's in two places. Bank accounts don't have it, and they don't pay any interest. Some people got some money, not a lot. By and large, most people that have a bank account, this is sad, but it's true, probably got less than $1,000, right? Because they're living paycheck to paycheck, hand to mouth. The 401k balance is really the biggest pool of money in the IRAs. And now they're going to add a little more. How this makes you more secure, I don't know. But the name sounds good. So what they want to do is bump up the holdings or speed up the process. Could you imagine if your son or daughter only made $40,000? And now you give them this gift, and all of a sudden now they're in the higher tax bracket, and just that gift that you gave them is a curse, right? And now, hey, that gift now turns into I lost 30, 40, 50% of it in taxes, right? Especially if you live in these blue states. Well, come on, they're all kind of turning blue. Could you imagine? Hey, I thought I was going to give my son or daughter $500,000. Instead, they only got $250,000, and we know $250,000 isn't a whole lot of money anymore, is it? All because of taxes. That's what this law is going to do. It's a huge estate tax increase. Wealthy people's retirement, and I know most people are like, fine, they're wealthy. $200,000, $500,000, that's not wealthy, right? You got to have millions and millions. And for those that have millions, you're going to get it one way or the other. But gearing up, the new Secure Act now is going to force, when you hand down your IRA, they now are going to force your children to liquidate and pay the tax in a 10-year period. They used to be able to stretch it way out and just take distributions to where it wouldn't affect their tax bracket, right? And they could keep more of that money. They're now that is now going to be gone. They said they're likely to pass it because they're trying to shore up other issues like the pension fund shortage, all of these other shortages. That's what one of the reasons they're saying they're going to do this is the PBGC, the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corp, which is massively underfunded, in trying to do that. I don't know. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen either, right? They're just going to spend the money. But get ready for that one. It looks like, from what I am seeing, that this is going to pass both the House and the Senate. And by the way, the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corp now is telling Congress that it is going to run out of money in 2025. So add that to the list, right? You know, you start thinking about all these things that I keep telling you about when it comes to the health of pensions and all of that. 2025 for the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corp. When we get back, the 401k, that's so wonderful. How much money is really in it? We're going to talk about that
next. This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily commentary continuing the conservative pro-family legacy of Phyllis Schlafly. Now, the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak made headlines recently for vetoing the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, also known as NPV. Even though he's a Democrat, he broke from his party line for this veto, and he had good reason to do so. Governor Sisolak put it best when he said this, quote, "The National Popular Vote Interstate Compact could diminish the role of smaller states like Nevada in national electoral contests and force Nevada's electors to side with whoever wins the nationwide popular vote, rather than the candidate Nevadans choose," end quote. Sisolak found out what conservatives have known all along. NPV is bad for America, but it's especially bad for small states like Nevada. Here's a breakdown of exactly what NPV is. You probably remember from your high school civics class that the Constitution sets up a system called the Electoral College to vote for the president every 4 years. The electors are chosen by the states. Unless you live in Maine or Nebraska, which does something different, the electors from your state have to vote for whoever wins the popular vote within that state. The popular vote is the voting you and I do when we go cast our ballot for president. What NPV wants to do is bypass the Electoral College and let the national popular vote decide who becomes president, rather than the state popular votes. On the surface, it doesn't sound like that bad of an idea. However, as Nevada found out, there is liberal bias hiding beneath the surface. The Electoral College makes sure small states like Nevada get a voice. Under NPV, the only thing that will matter to candidates is winning big in cities with huge population densities like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Why would a candidate bother making campaign stops in Las Vegas when it has a population of only just over 600,000 compared to New York City's 8.5 million? Under NPV, getting the big city voters will be all that matters. Supporters of NPV play dumb to the fact that those big city voters are mostly liberal. Make no mistake, NPV will take away the voice of smaller states, and it will send the presidency veering to the left. Nevada knows it, and you should too.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report with Ed Martin. Phyllis Schlafly Eagles are eagerly preparing for the 48th Annual Gateway Eagle Council to be held in St. Louis on September 13 to 15. Rally some friends for 3 exciting days of speakers, networking, and resourcing at the Gateway Eagle Council. Find details at phyllisschlafly.com. phyllisschlafly.com. See you there, and join us again for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
800-951-0592. U.S. $20 Liberties or Saints. We'll tell you what you get. I don't know what they're going to be. $1,500 until they're gone. And again, if we don't sell out today, you'll hear this show tomorrow. Gold goes up another $20 tomorrow. Raise the price $20. Just going to be that simple. 800-951-0592. Gold's $1,425. Silver $1,591 and rising. Get ready for the Secure Act now. Handing down wealth. You know, when you buy gold from us, you put it away. You don't tell anybody where you found it. And 5 years, 10 years, 20 years go by. And you pass. You know, I'm not saying to break any laws, but again, how do they know? 800-951-0592. They want to know. I know that. It's 401ks. And I want to be clear on this. Am I telling you not to do it? No. Do I think you'd be better off signing up on and doing our metals program? Absolutely, I do. Right? If you haven't become a member of the metals program, you should. And if you don't have a 401k, because I know a lot of us, like me, I'm self-employed. Right? I only make money when you call the phone number. You don't call the phone number, I don't make any money. If I'm not making any money, I don't want to do radio, right? I mean, that's how it goes. I got to have my own 401. I don't have a 401k here because it's not affordable. What do? I use the metals program. It's a great way for you self-employed people that don't have a metals plan to start saving. It's a great way for you that do to supplement that one. Right? And maybe you're looking at your 401k balances and going, what's going on? So in 2018, they released this number and said, the average 401k's got $92,000 in it. And that's the number you heard. Now, first of all, 92,000 is not $1 million. Right? And I keep going back to that commercial. Everyone's, what's your number? Right? I think the lowest number on the commercial is like $700,000. Vanguard recently released its 2019 edition of How America Saves. And see right here, it gives you all the details for the defined contribution plans that the company administers. Now, Vanguard's the largest, right? So this is a really good one. Vanguard tends to, there you go. They tend to administer the larger plans. So they are often better designed than the average. So what they're telling you is the numbers in their report are going to be the best in the industry. A lot of the other plans that a lot of you have that aren't Vanguard, you're not even as good as this. Okay? So that's what that means. In 2018, the average account balance, again, $92,148. And remember, I had said, I wonder what the median number is. Because you remember what average is. Average is take all the people in Vanguard, take all their balances, add up all the balances, and then divide it by the number of people. So you can have the number heavily influenced by a few people with big money in it, right? All the parachute people. You know who they are. The C-level people. Well, Vanguard today dropped the bomb. They gave the median number. Now, the median number, and remember, I've been educating you on this, right? You take the person with the least amount. He goes against the person with the highest amount. Then the second least amount, second highest, third, fourth, fifth, until you end up the balance number, where half of the people have less and half have more. I was blown away. Because I knew the balance average was 92,000. So I was thinking, 50, 45. The median balance, $22,217. The big difference between the median and the average is due to the very small number of people whose accounts have really, really big balances. The average balances are more typical of long-tenured, more affluent participants, while the median balance, according to Vanguard, represents the typical participant. So here's what Vanguard actually said. Yep, 22,000 is the median, but by the way, the vast majority of the people in our fund are kind of right around that number. In other words, we got a very small group of people with huge balances. The rest of the fund's right around this number. The figure below, so they have a graph that comes, they love graphs, says that the median balance for the last 12 years. And again, we've had the longest expansion ever. That's what they've said. Wall Street has gone from what? I don't know, 60-something, 100, let's call it 7,000 to 27,000. This number's got to be much better. 12 straight years, according to Vanguard, in terms of the median account balance. The median account balance in 2018 is actually lower than 2007. Now, 7, in fairness, 7, right, what was Wall Street? 14,000. So I want to be fair, right? So Wall Street has doubled since then. Okay, doubled it. And the median balance of 401ks hasn't moved. Why? Well, let's see. First of all, they whack you every stinking year. So you've lost at least, probably 30% of it to fees. And then the rest of it, like I said, listen, there's only a handful of stocks that have really, you didn't own Apple, Google, Facebook, right? You missed a lot of it. $800-951-0592. $20 gold pieces at $1,500 until they're gone. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592. Nothing scary here, just the facts. This is from Vanguard. I want to reiterate that Vanguard is the best of the best when it comes to the 401k. That everybody knows that the numbers that they put out is the best case scenario. And that if you don't have Vanguard, your numbers are lower. That's just what it is. So they just released 2019. They said the median balance from 2007, okay, so this was before the big crash, Dow 14,000, right? Now we got Dow 27,000 plus. Hasn't moved. 22 grand. So I know what you're saying. Double your skew in it. Right? You got the millennials, right? They don't know what they're doing. So, okay. Let's look at the people getting ready to retire. Okay, so because Vanguard, I love when they do it because you know what? I'll say this for them. They just put the number out there. Okay? Do with it as you like, but they give the data. And really, I'm sitting there thinking, if anybody read this, If anybody read this, would you actually put your money here? 55 to 64. So this is, retirement 65, right? This is getting ready to retire. Nobody has more money than this age group. Well, according to Vanguard, this number is even worse than the overall number. They said for the age group approaching retirement, the balances are larger. Unfortunately, that's about the only good thing. They said that the 2018 median balance was actually lower than in 2007. Excuse me? Lower? Wall Street's doubled. How can it be lower? Wall Street has doubled. I'm double J, right? I'm twice as big. Your 401k balance is lower. Let me give you the number. The median balance, 55 to 64, $62,000. Right? You think about the median balance for the whole 401k is only 22. Essentially, the 401k, I'm just going to be honest with you, it's probably what you put in there. Probably what you put in there. By the way, where was it in 07? $74,000. Now, I'm going to give you a number that really was interesting. How about the average? The average was 172. So think about how skewed a few people are. It's skewed by over 100 G's. But here's the funny part. What was the average in 07? Guess what? It was only 172. So yes, the wealthier people, even their balances are no higher. The median is lower. The average balance, the exact same. So from 07 to 2008, if I was to tell you, I'll just ask you honestly, okay? Hey, I want you to put your money in here, and Wall Street's going to double, okay? Dow's going to double, S&P's going to double, and Nasdaq's going to double. But 12 years later, you're going to have the exact amount of money or a little less. And, I'm going to whack you the whole time. What would you say to that? Would you say, oh, yeah, let me sign up for that? You're the same guy buying German boons that pay a negative interest rate. This is the best plan. And I sit there and I read these things and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I know all these great Wall Street pundits have the same information. Matter of fact, by the way, I read that story from Market Watch. Okay? It's out there. I mean, it's common knowledge that is what they've done, that essentially the whole economic recovery. Now, you got some of the crash in there, right? 07, Wall Street hadn't crashed yet. So you got the crash and the economic recovery. The average price of gold for 2007, $695. So let's round it up, $700. $700. If you had been in our metals plan that whole time, boy, you did a whole lot better, didn't you? I mean, gold's doubled, right? Let's see, Wall Street's doubled, gold's doubled. Hey, guess what? We got like-for-like performance. Here's the difference. You're actually up on your gold and silver holdings than you are in your 401k, even after fees. 800-951-0592. You know what to do. I rest my case. The prosecution rests. 800-951-0592. Gold, $14.24, $14.25, up $13, $14. Well, depending on, look, I think Kinko's got up 16. Same thing. Gold, silver, $15.90. $15.90. Listen, eclipsed 50. Remember, we were looking for $15.55. I told you if it takes out $15.55, $15.75 takes out $15.75, $16, $16.25, $16.50. 800-951-0592. U.S. $20 Liberties or Saints. We got to pick it. I know a lot of times I like, you can pick whatever one. It doesn't matter. It's the same amount of gold. $1,500 at 800-951-0592. This show will run until we're out. Hopefully that's today. But I don't know what else to tell you. We've had this huge economic expansion, allegedly. We've had an expansion of debt. Gold and silver clobber the 4. It's not even competitive. According to Vanguard, your account balance has done nothing. Your average balance done nothing. Your median balance has actually gone down. Congratulations. 800-951-0592. By the way, data released yesterday. China continuing to sell U.S. Treasuries for the third straight month in a row. Even though Japan apparently, I don't know, this is kind of weird. They say Japan bought $37 billion of U.S. debt in May. I guess maybe the saving grace. By the way, Japan now just below China. So China's actually getting ready to fall to the second largest holder. Japan about ready to become the large. Matter of fact, by now, because the data's a little old, Japan may be the largest holder of debt. Meanwhile, overall, market participation in Wall Street continues to fall. Foreign participation in Wall Street and treasuries continues to collapse now. They said May was the 12th month in a row for U.S. treasuries as foreign, both public and private, were net sellers of $33.8 billion of U.S. treasuries, $1.4 billion in corporate stock. And by the way, the offset from agencies, not nearly enough, as net outflows now by foreigners from not only the U.S. bond market, but from the U.S. stock market continue now year over year. And again, I'm looking at these balances. I'm looking at retirement. I'm looking at all of these things. I don't know how it ends up. I don't have the I'm not Nostradamus with a crystal ball, but I know how to do math, and I have common sense. I hope you do too. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'll be back soon, hopefully.